Hey there. Welcome, civilians. You've arrived at the home of civilized and thought-provoking commentary. Get ready for elevation, growth, and experience. I am the civilized woman.
Welcome back, civilians. Today, we're going to talk about the real reason Sunni Minx lashed out. The real reason Sunni Minx lashed out. Let's talk about it. It broke today that her husband, Moses, pled guilty to charges including leaving the jurisdiction where he's on parole to film the show Love and Marriage Huntsville in Huntsville, Alabama. He was sentenced to 11 months in jail. Sunni came to our attention when she stepped from behind the cameras to join the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville along with her husband Moses. Now, Moses was not new to us. We've seen him a few times because he was supposedly Destiny's man. So that was not new to us. Now, their storyline is the fact that she served as Destiny Payton's producer, and Moses and Destiny, of course, were, I don't know what they were classified as, I guess boyfriend and girlfriend. But they had an on again, off again relationship. Mind you, relationship, quote unquote, took place while Moses was married to his first wife. So I don't know if it was the duration of his marriage or if it was just a parts of it on and off. If I'm being honest, I never paid attention to Moses and Sunni, because to me their storyline just served as a vehicle to get Destiny back on the show so she can go after her real target, which is Melody Cherie, at the behest of Martell. As much as I may not care for Destiny just based on how she did Mel, and definitely don't think she should be looking for others to stand on quote unquote girl code when she didn't do the same for Mel, I have to admit that I gave Sunni the side eye because the whole thing was not clean in my opinion. Even if she and Destiny were not friends, she still had a level of dealings with Destiny that should have made getting with Moses a questionable move, to say the least. I think people were willing to let it slide because they don't care for Destiny and they thought that Sunni and Moses was her payback. She seems to be positioning herself as an ally to Mel. This is Sunni, and I think that also lent itself to why people kind of gave her grace. And then she had an interview with Queen Sheba, and she actually did really well in that interview. So I think that played a part too in people kind of, giving her grace and seeing how cool of a person she was. That being said, she's been doing a lot of talking as of late. Well, word got out that Moses had been in jail since August 8th, allegedly for parole violation. And of course, as I said at the top of this commentary, it just broke today that he pled and he was sentenced. People were asking her a lot of questions on the live. They were asking where was Moses. We heard Moses was in jail, and she kind of was ignoring them. As we all know, social media is going to give their opinion, and content creators are going to create content. That's what we do. She and her husband are content, so they will be talked about. It's not personal. Well, Sunni did a series of lives going completely off on people tuned into her live. Really, even though it was meant for the quote unquote haters, at one point she noted that people were trying to quote unquote kiki her, which in my opinion was really out of line. What does Kiki, rest her soul, have to do with the fact that you're frustrated because you picked a man who can't seem to stay out of trouble? Of course, the backlash was swift. I think Wente Talk did a good job of expressing why it was crazy for her to bring Kiki up and insult people in her live. She then did another live that was titled an apology that she ended up privating. However, Empress Radio got it before she privated it, so that's where I heard it from. The lies seem more like a justification to me, that's my opinion, than an apology. At one point she said if she offended anyone, she apologizes. An apology requires you calling out the wrong and then atoning for it. So to me, it sounded like a justification, but I'm not going to question the heart of somebody. Now, to the real reason I think Sunni lashed out. In my opinion, from all accounts, Sunni has worked really hard to build her career as a producer and as a businesswoman. From what I understand, she's a millionaire, which is admirable to say the least. She she so we have a woman, Sunni, who's garnered success on her own terms, with who within a short period of time married a man that dated someone she worked with closely. It appears that Sunni and Moses may have known each other, as they are both from St. Louis, but to what extent, I'm not sure. To me, it looked like Sunni fell into a trend that I'm seeing a lot online and offline, and that is successful women marrying men of questionable character, underachieving men in comparison to the woman, or all around F-boys, to be honest. In my opinion, she heard the invisible time clock ticking. She has the professional success, and now she wants the husband and the baby. She had to find someone that looked good enough, I guess, that she could clean up and present as husband material. She got married quickly, and now she's trying to have a baby. Hence, I think getting married in 90 days and then starting IVF, which I personally know somebody who's going through that process. Her and her husband have been trying for a really long time. It's a very expensive process, and they were gifted the treatment, but it takes a toll on the body. It is very taxing. It is physically, mentally, all of those things. There's a lot that goes into that. So I don't think that they've even celebrated a year of marriage. Have they been married for a year? So that's a lot to do in under a year of being married. To go from being married in 90 days of your relationship being official to then starting IVF under a year of y'all being married. That's a lot. However, it does look like if it does not work out, she can take the baby and ride off into the sunset to brave single motherhood. She gets to present herself as a woman who tried to do it right, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But at least she has her baby. The real reason Sunni lashed out is because she has spent a lot of time really trying to convince the public on her marriage, throwing it in Destiny's face, and how much she's the wife and how God ordained her marriage. The reality is, however, she's really been trying to convince herself, in my opinion, that this is a marriage that was built on solid foundation, that she found a life partner, that she can hold her head up high because she got her man. People have been looking at her like a fool for marrying a man not only with a criminal past, but not a really good and faithful husband, as he cheated on his first wife with Destiny and probably others. One who has demonstrated that he's himself back in jail just highlights how much of a fool she may look like to the public. With the content creators doing what we do, creating content on viral news, our favorite shows, she and her husband was going to be commentary. It's nothing personal. It's just the nature of how it works. If you're going to be in the public eye, I think it burst her well-crafted delusional bubble, and she lost control. If Sunni is pregnant or is still going through the IVF treatment, that's a lot to do without your husband, especially with him being behind bars and all of the stress that can come with worrying about somebody that's incarcerated. To me, it's not an excuse, but I do feel like we can give her grace. But she needs to watch how she conducts herself and manage her emotions moving forward. She may also want to consider if it's worth being on reality TV. I do wish her the best with her marriage and everything involving her situation. Now let's take the focus off Sunni, as she just serves as a case study of what is really happening out there in the world today. Women have made great strides in achieving heights never before achieved by the ones that came before them. Collectively, we are more educated and successful in various endeavors, whether it be career, degrees, businesses. We're doing the thing, if I do say so myself. That being said, many lose focus on making time to meet a suitable partner and prioritize marriage and children. Now, listen, I'm not saying we have to do this. It's entirely up to the individual woman. However, I am saying if you desire that, then you absolutely have to prioritize it so you don't end up in a struggle love situation where you are uber successful, so much so that you are virtually the man in your relationship. You have to think about the kind of man that you truly desire and make sure to position yourself as the type of woman he would want to be with. Don't neglect this area and end up with an inferior partner because you become desperate and settle. There's nothing worse to me than nothing worse than seeing a woman with a man that is so beneath her that it baffles you as to how that even happened. Don't get me wrong, you can meet people in all walks of life. The mentality, the character, and the belief system matters. However, a man without ambition, especially if you are a woman with ambition, can be hard to deal with. You have to be concerned with his ego, low self-esteem, and him likely trying to knock you down a peg or two to make himself feel more secure. Doesn't matter how strong you are as a woman, that can break you. And in even more tragic cases, women have lost lives at the hand of a dusty. One more thing before I end this commentary. Let me say this to the hit dogs that may holler. Of course, this can be in the reverse. However, I am a woman speaking from that point of view. To both men and women, I'm not judging, just giving my opinion on a real life situation using the TV personalities. If it don't apply, let it fly. Until next time.
Please like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.